Hello everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and it's the last Wednesday of the month, so that means it's time for Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. This is hosted by Crystal from Pineapple Papers, and it is a monthly hop where a group of scrapbookers gets together and takes inspiration from their Pinterest boards. So I'm taking inspiration from my scrapbook Pinterest board, which I will try to remember to have linked below. And this particular scrap lift that I'm doing is originally a layout by Rebecca Rubis, who posted it on a cherry on top. I think you can find her on Cherry. She might be on their design team, but I really liked the circular photo with this very smaller square photos, and I thought, I bet I have a bunch of a large series of photos that all need to go together, then I can do something similar with this layout. So what I am doing is creating a little bit of a deeper bisection of the paper. I've got 2 sheets of Chamel Main Character Energy pattern paper. They've both been cut in 2 already. So I just decided to put them together and make one 12 by 12 pattern paper background. And so Rebecca's, as you can see in the upper corner there, her bisection of the 2, she's got a pattern on top, and I think it's just a solid white cardstock on the bottom. I obviously really like working with patterns. So hers is a little bit higher up where the papers bisect. And as I said, mine is a little bit deeper, but that's okay. I could have cut that starburst paper a little bit smaller, but I didn't really think about it at the time, and I didn't really care because I liked the deeper bisection, and this is my layout, not Rebecca's, so I can do whatever I want. Now I'm using my Creative Memories circle cutting system to figure out the right size for this photo, and I figured out the right size, but for some reason, as sometimes happens with the circle cutting system, the blades, I don't know if it's something's not fitting right with the circle or what it is, but the blade scuffed up the photo. So then I had to go back and make it a smaller size. I think I was originally doing it maybe 3 inches. And I just bring it down. I just bring it in a little bit simply because I didn't like having a big giant scuff mark on the top of my photo. It's really annoying. But because it's already cut into a circle and the circle stencil is actually bigger than the photo, I just put some washi tape down to try to hold my photo still and just very, very carefully try to recut a smaller circle into it. But it's still gonna look bigger because I will have some pattern paper matted behind it in a larger circle. So it's all gonna be okay. And of course, because I was trying to be careful there, I do end up having to kind of hand cut some of the frame off just because I was trying to not screw things up and I just didn't press down hard enough in certain sections of the circle cutter thing. So here's the pattern paper that I'm going to use to map my photo. If you are interested in seeing what everyone else came up with for this month's Off the Board, they will all be linked down below in the description box. So please feel free to hop along, and everybody's doing something different. We're not using the same inspiration. So you're going to see a bunch of different scrapbook layouts and hopefully get a lot of inspiration this month that will lead you into next month, the month of February. I can't believe that January is already over with. It does feel like this month was a very long month. However, it also feels like it was a very fast month. So I don't know how both of those things can be true, but if you lived through this January, then you probably understand as well. We've only had 2 snow days, and one of those days was actually there was actually snow. The other day, they closed school just out of caution because there was supposed to be another 3 inches of snow, and it snowed, but it didn't really stick to anything. So that was kind of a bust, but only 2 snow days down. So let's see if we can get through the rest of the winter season without having to use any, because I would love it if they could get out of school a little bit earlier. Right now, they're scheduled to go to I don't know, June 20th or something, literally the first day of summer. And it's it's just so long. It's just so long out here. And it's hot too. I mean, I think my kids' school has air conditioning, but my husband's school, they have air conditioning units, window units in the rooms, which is actually they used to not have that. So you can imagine how hot it was going back to school in even in September. But then being there in school in May and June when it's getting hotter as well, just not cool. Not cool. Anyway, all right, so now I'm kind of trying to piece things together to make it look more similar to Rebecca's layout, which is going to be up for a few more minutes. So, take a screenshot, whatever you need to do, draw out a little sketch if you want to try this layout for yourself. I am trying to get some border or banner strip out of pattern papers. And basically, I kind of just went into my scrap files for this layout to see what I could put together. And because that sort of leopard print paper, which is from Simple Stories old collection, Kate and Ash, it has some orange in it. There's some orange in the main character energy collection as well. This one that I'm cutting into right now is from Obed Marshall's Buenos Dias collection. It also has some orange in it. I think those are supposed to be like bottle caps, maybe. I'm not totally sure. The other side is cars, but it has orange in it, and there's orange in the main character energy papers. So once again, I'm like, it works. They go together great. I will ink the edges of those banner strips, and I think I actually reverse the order of them as well before I actually lay them down. But you can see I'm using 2 branding strips with the full 12-inch pattern for the top and the bottom. And I've got a kind of pink, that pink paper right there is Echo Park. So that's going to be the strip that goes kind of across. I think that Rebecca's layout had a lot more matting behind all the photos, but you know what? I just didn't feel like trying to go into my pattern paper collection and find 2 more patterns that were going to fit. So I just kept it at that, kept it simple with the branding strips on the top and the bottom. They're not identical branding strips. They are different, and I like that. So what I don't like is that I stuck down a photo to get the right measurements of this 12-inch mat. And I realized that I didn't really want that photo to be the first photo in the series because it doesn't make sense. So these are photos from an Easter egg hunt. So the middle photo in the circle, the one that's also going to be popped up on foam dots in a few minutes, that is the aftermath of the Easter egg hunt. So all the eggs that my daughter collected. And then on either side, we're going through the beginning of being there, getting ready to race out to the eggs, and then photos from the action shots from the actual egg hunt. And these photos were really great to cut down into the smaller size. I think I did 2x2 squares. I don't think those are 3x3. I think those are 2x2. But it worked really well to cut them into that smaller size just because I was taking these photos from a distance. And so this allowed me to cut out all the excess stuff, excess people, excess grass. Nobody wants to look at just plain grass in a photo. So I was able to cut those parts out because I cut the photos down to a much smaller size. And I would recommend that you try your hand at that as well. Your photos don't always have to be 4x6 or 3.5x5. You can cut them down to 3x4 or 3x3 or 4x4 or 2x2. Lots of different ways that you could cut down your photos, or do them all in circles. I would say try something wacky like triangles, but I think that might be kind of difficult unless you have, I don't know, does anybody make a triangle paper punch? Because then at least you'd be able to get the angles right, and you'd be able to kind of see where you're punching if you were going to make a triangular photo. That's something interesting to look into. I wonder if anybody makes a triangle. I'm sure there's a rectangle. I know there are circles. I know there are squares. I know there are hexagons because I have a hexagon paper punch. And hearts. I know there are hearts. But are there triangles? Very interesting. Something to look into. If you know, maybe you have one, let me know down below in the comments. Something to look into. I don't know. So I'm just doing a little bit more of the inking of the edges of things just because I want them to kind of pop a little bit more. There's a lot of patterns going on here, and I'm just trying to make things look stand out a little bit more, if you will. But the branding strips, everything I'm sticking down with my double-sided adhesive squares. I just bought a new box at Michael's. I also just bought, they're having a BOGO, which is not buy one, get one free. It's buy one, get one half off. But still, they were having a BOGO sale on albums. So I did pick up some albums. And while I was there, I picked up some Foam Recollections brand double-sided adhesive squares and foam squares. Yay for me. And I also had a $5 off Michael's Rewards coupon. And now I have another one. So I have to go back and buy something else. I have to. It's like the Kohl's Cash, right? You get it and you're like, oh, okay, well now I have to buy something with it. You don't really have to buy anything with it. It's going to be okay. Life is going to go on. But it is fun, isn't it? It is fun to buy stuff. Oh, scrapbook supplies. If you're new here to the channel, thank you so much for stopping in. Maybe you've stumbled upon this channel because you're doing the hop from somebody else's YouTube channel, or maybe, I don't know, you just searched for something. Maybe you Google searched weird lady scrapbooking and this came up. I don't know. But I'm grateful that you're here and that you're watching this video, and I hope that you find it helpful and inspiring, and that you give this video a thumbs up. And also that you consider subscribing if you haven't already done so that you don't miss out on other process videos and other crafty things that I post throughout every month. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Let me know that you're here down in the comments by just saying hi or leaving a comment, asking a question about anything you see me doing, products you see me using. Happy to answer those questions for you. So I just cut out my last two Vicki Boutin Vellum circle things with the butterflies. I liked the butterflies because it's kind of springy. Colors aren't an exact match, but whatever. And I'm playing around with those. I think those are Paige Evans. Paige Evans for American Crafts, little like label cut aparts. Again, this is like stuff from my stash. So this stuff is old. But I'm thinking of using those as journaling. But of course I need to figure out the rest of the embellishment situation here. So I have embellishments, obviously, that I purchased for January, and I think I am going to go through and use some of those. I think I can't really tell what I'm doing right now because the voice recorder thing is right over there. Oh, I'm sticking in something. Oh, that's the title. Oh, that's right. So the third Paige Evans cut apart thing, I put the title on there. It's called The Hunt. And I used those Doodlebug Alphas in Tangerine, which I love, to do the title. And then I kind of tucked it underneath the popped up photo and underneath the vellum butterfly thing. And then I saw these mushrooms on, I think it was the Simple Stories Boho Summer 12 by 12 sticker sheet. And I was like, that could work. Like, we're in grass picking up eggs. There were probably mushrooms. They felt kind of like springy and outdoorsy to me. So we're going to do the mushroom stickers as well. And I know that there are a couple little phrase stickers that I'm going to include. And I'm going to do one in that cluster down there on the left. And then I will eventually bring one up onto the cluster up on the right. So what I end up making here is not just a diagonal line, but actually a triangle shape. So right now I'm working on the bottom left, creating a cluster there. I'm going to do the top right. I'm going to rearrange those Paige Evans journaling spots, cut apart things, kind of rearrange that a little bit, add in, I don't need all that journaling. Those are actually going to get moved to the bottom. I'll get there in a second. But I'm going to add in a few more embellishments and make that an embellishment cluster. So there's one corner, two corner, and then back down on the right-hand corner of the page, I'm going to put part of one of those Paige Evans cut aparts down there. So it actually makes a visual triangle, all my embellishment clusters. Just let me throw out there, things tend to work better in groups of threes. Your embellishments, your enamel dots. You can do multiple groups of threes. But I like to, I like to try to follow the rule of threes. And then obviously creating the visual triangle is also kind of helpful as well. I don't know. I'm not like an art teacher or anything. I just do this for fun, but I've picked up a couple things along the way from other scrapbookers. I had this twine. It's sort of I don't even know where it came from. It was, again, in one of my bag of scraps. But I thought, hey, you know what? It kind of goes with this. So I haven't done this in a really long time, but like a couple of years ago, everybody was taking twine and like rolling it up into a ball and sticking it underneath things so that you could see like the string or the twine coming out from behind the photo or whatever. So I kind of just went back to that trend and did it here. So there's going to be some string or some of this twine peeking out from behind the bottom of the photo and the top of the photo up there in that cluster. And that used up that twine, which is all good with me because I'm all about trying to use up stuff from my stash. You got to make room for new stuff, right? But it does feel really good to use up stuff from your stash that you've been holding on to for a long time. So long you don't even know where it came from. and just finding a use for it, finding a home for it on one of your layouts. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm sticking those vellum circles down with glue dots. I think they do make specific vellum tape. I know scrapbook.com used to. I used to have, you get it in like a sheet, and then you could kind of cut the sizing that you needed. Or I think they also made it in like long, almost like fur ribbon. They made it that kind of size and length. But I don't have any of that. So I just use the glue dots. I just kind of pop them down in a place where maybe there's some color that's going to cover them up. Because obviously clear vellum, you're still going to see the glue dot behind the clear portion of it. So I try to put the glue dots in a colored portion of the vellum if I can. And then, yeah, so I've got flowers, I've got butterflies, I've got another little phrase sticker going on there. I've got enamel dots. I have so many enamel dots to work with this month. It is joyous because I love enamel dots so much. They're so fun to work with. However, what isn't fun is when you peel them off the plastic sheet and the adhesive stays behind. Am I doing it wrong? Am I lifting them off wrong? Seriously, is there a trick to getting them off the page without the adhesive staying behind? If you know, let me know, because I seem to have the worst luck with these enamel dots, and I don't know what's going on. But if that happens, I just use a glue dot instead to stick them down, and it's fine. But if something's going to come and it's going to be self-adhesive, then it freaking needs to be self-adhesive, okay? I don't have time for this. Got to put the journaling down in here. I will add the date after I finish recording on my phone, because I need to use my phone to see what the date is. So I'm going to add that in. Don't worry. There's some space left there for it. These were taken in April. Again, it's an Easter egg hunt, so it takes place around Easter. I don't know when Easter is this year. I'll have to look at my calendar. But I used a pink, what is that? Is that a Creative Memories pen, or is that, yeah, I think that's a pink Creative Memories pen that I used to do my journaling. So there you have it. These are the close-ups. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video and that you hop along with everybody else today as part of the Off the Board with Pineapple Papers hop. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.